Katia, how bad does Argentina need Chinese money?
China's Argentina's second biggest trading partner after Brazil. They had about $17 billion in commerce with Argentina in 2013, and they're basically aiding Argentina in many, many different ways. They're investing $5 billion in hydroelectric dams. If you go to Argentina, you go and you ride on the subway there, all the writing is in Chinese characters. I mean, these are old trains from China. And most recently and most importantly, they've gotten an $11 billion currency swap with China, which basically means they can just draw on currency from them to boost their reserves and boost the peso. They've gotten over $3 billion since October. And if you look at Argentina's foreign currency reserves, they've just been on the rise since then. All due to this, mainly due to this, at least. They've had the biggest amount of influx from currency from them since 2008, in the last quarter last year.
Okay, let's flip the coin around. What's in this for the Chinese?
Well, the Chinese need a foothold, a stronghold in Latin America, and they've been doing this throughout the region with Argentina, with Ecuador, and most famously with Venezuela. Basically, they need to feed their people, so they are the biggest market for soybeans from Argentina, and they're also helping develop oil fields there with YPF, which is the state-owned oil producer.
Katia, there was an embarrassing situation involving President Fernandez. She sent out a tweet today, and it mimicked a Chinese accent. The executive director of the Argentine-China Chamber of Commerce in Buenos Aires is insisting that the tweet will not hurt trade or diplomatic relations between the two countries, will it?
Well, there are a couple points to make here. The first is that from the Argentine perspective, it's a joke. They are saying it's a joke. And even the Argentine-Chinese Chamber of Commerce is basically calling it a joke. There's a racial insensitivity in the country that's fairly rampant. But what is underlying here, and it's hard to imagine that China is going to be making its economic decisions based off of such a faux pas. They are fairly flexible with Venezuela, for example, who's always saying that they can't pay on time, which you would think has a greater economic impact than a tweet. And they're always making loan agreements flexible with them. But the thing that is underlying here is there is a question here about the seriousness of President Cristina Fernandez de Kirchner as a leader. A president should not be making this kind of a remark, whether or not it's considered a joke, especially with a country on which they're so reliant.
President Fernandez, while she's traveling abroad, she has more troubles back home. We had heard about the recent death of prosecutor Alberto Nisman. He was leading an investigation. He had accused President Fernandez of agreeing to shield the alleged masterminds of a 1994 terror bombing. He reportedly was going to call for her arrest, and some draft documents to that effect were apparently found in the trash. What is the latest on this?
Precisely. So this gaffe comes at a time where her popularity at home is not doing very well, and people abroad and domestically are questioning what's going on in her head, especially given her behavior in light of Alberto Nisman's death. In the procedure right now is there was a question of the draft of a warrant for her arrest, which was found in his garbage. There's a question of why is it in the garbage? Was there fear that it would never, it would just be too big of a political snafu? I mean, this is unprecedented to have a president that would be potentially arrested during her term. And now they're trying to find a judge that's going to take the case. Two judges have said that they won't take it because it's not in their jurisdiction. So an appeals court needs to find one that's willing to do so. So we're hoping that this investigation is going to progress, but so far it has been pretty much not going to plan.